Hey, what up guys? So on today's video we're going to be talking about what is happening currently in the country, Nigeria, a little about what is happening in South Africa, and a lot of things that are happening currently in Nigeria as we speak. And now guys, to shock you to know that some presidents actually taking it upon themselves to take out corruption in whatever way it presents itself, but some other countries are busy doing some other things that we don't count to be relevant. And I'm going to be showing you a lot of things, guys. So if this is the first time you're seeing this channel, do not forget to like and then subscribe to see our other videos. Right now guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about a lot of things that are happening in the social media space. And by the way, today, upon the return of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he went to see the wife of late President Muhammadu Buhari for condolence visits and all of that, and I'm going to show you in this video also. Now guys, it will amaze you to know that in a country like this, where we are striving and trying to make things better, we're trying to make things work for Nigerians. Some people are working their self out to make sure that everything is working for them, but some people are out there trying to frustrate their efforts. I'm going to be showing you a pastor who actually allegedly is duping another person, in fact that led to his deportation from Turkey, and he's still not doing anything about the young man up until now. Verydarkman had a lot to say about this, and I'm going to show you also in this video, guys, so stay tuned. Now guys, you remember I showed you a video a long time ago about Peter Obi and the PDP, the Labour Party, the APGA, the ADP, all of them were actually, the ADC, all of them are actually trying to get Peter Obi into the system, and we had the Arise TV today interviewing a chieftain man in the PDP to say something about Peter Obi and the current state of PDP, and he had a lot to say about that, which I'm going to be showing you in this video, guys.
The party now is back. The governor is back, even if they still say it's not been located yet. It's still an unidentifiable flying object, but hopefully in good time it will show up now that normalcy has returned in that state. As a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, how do you feel about that? And then second, this whole point about PDP, back to good stead and all of that. Well, there's the big issue of the November Convention, which particularly your good friend, Minister Wike, is saying that if his directives are not followed, that there will be trouble. And that in fact, people thinking of President Jonathan coming back as flag bearer of the party, they may be preparing the battleground for serious crisis within the PDP. But let's start from Rivers, and then we'll move to the party itself.
Well, I have personal reasons to be grateful to God that the situation in Rivers State is eventually, coming to a very peaceful resolution, which I thought in the first place. I told you that there was no reason for this to have happened in the first place. Because I had always said that we don't operate democracy in this country. What we operate is, civil rule. Tell me how many people in this country, since you got matured politically, that have come out of their own desire, with their own financial support, and started either as councillors or chairmen of local government or members of state houses of assembly, national assembly or governor or president. There's always some tendency for you to cling on the apron string of some people. And that's the danger of the style of democracy we're holding here, because you don't have an independent opinion. But what happens in this country is that people continue licking the boots of other, or whom they call their godfathers, and as soon as they see power and money, they say to hell with you. And this is what causes crisis in most of the time. Because a typical Nigerian man regards everything he does as business. And they put millions and millions of naira, sometimes dollars, into this business of governance. And that is why nothing works. Because you get into office, instead of helping to develop your environment, you continue sharing or paying back to those who have made you to get into where you are. And once you look and see that not enough is left for you to really do some job, you still remain. That's why nothing is going on. Go through 6 months ago, I went through about 17 states in this country. And Dr. Abati, it's a pity for you to watch a governor going to work. A governor leave government house to attend a function in the same city. And there are about 40 vehicles in a convoy following him. Do you know the amount of money that is spent in that kind of movement? And they don't care. Nobody's interested. So our problem is so fundamental that it requires some reassessment of values, if we have any. People come from rural areas. I haven't seen the son of any big man, either Awolowo or Zeke or Baga or Ahmadu Bello. That is governor. So incidentally means that the children of very poor people from very poor environment somehow manage to be members of houses of assembly, national assembly, governors. Why is it that when they enter office, they hate their people so much that they can't even provide water, ordinary water? How do you look at that kind of situation? So sometimes you want to give up, and I don't think that giving up solves the problem, So when I was in PRP, 1979, I was the national advisor to Malam Aminu Kano. I was just as vibrant as Rufai, my friend, is. But somebody called me to say that Nigeria is not a function of statistics. That was why Zeke said in 1974 that ethnicity should become, a national instrument, an instrument for national unity. if people will accept that. Because if I recognize that you're from Edo, I'm from Anambra, you're from Sokoto, I will understand the differences of your people, and we put these differences together to understand each other and use it for national development. But once we use ethnicity as a basis of divide and rule, opportunism, then nothing works. So that's what I would say, that PDP is part of a Nigerian system, and all persons who come there want to have an advantage for their people's, gain. And in doing that, we forget that authority rests on regimented formality. That if you combine political ignorance with unresolved, unresolved grievances, then they have political blindness. We have to have an understanding that we are one people, difficult to, but we have to try to do that.
Okay.
That I have known you, Dr. Bati, for how long now? You called me on telephone when you were working with Goodluck Jonathan. We didn't know ourselves. From then we become friends because we have an understanding. And each time I came to see Jonathan, and I asked him, why do you always invite me? He said, invite me because I have the courage to tell him the truth. Okay. In this country, nobody wants to listen to the truth. Sometimes they think you are doing some mago-mago when you tell people the truth. You tell people what they want to hear, and still the new collapsing. That is where we are today. I hope my colleagues in political offices, as governors or whatever they are, should start to remember the Nigerian people. We have no other hope but ourselves to help us.
All right, thank you so very much, sir. I believe, Dr. Abati's second question around rivers, I would love for you to answer that question. But beyond that, my question would then be, based on your statements that you tell the truth, can you tell the truth this morning around the chances of the PDP at the next election, and who could potentially be a viable candidate for the party to compete favorably with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as incumbent?
Well, I'll answer that question, my sister, by telling you that only God will answer that your question. To say whether PDP will have make the presidency in 2027. Only God knows who will be alive tomorrow morning. And I normally make that statement. I don't take assumptions that are beyond my control. We have hope or desires to want to do something if God wills. So if PDP survives, as we're trying to do, in the last national executive meeting we had, almost 7 of our governors were there, and it was refreshing that everybody is now talking how to, discussing how to reorganize the party, put it in a stronger footing for 2027 and other subsequent elections that are coming. Okay. So I don't know who the candidate will be, but the party has won the presidency to the south.
Yes.
And if there is honesty, like you said, yes. And hold on, if there is honesty, they should micro-zone it to southeast, because virtually now we are the only zone, theoretically speaking, that have not had a presidency.
That's a very important
this dispensation, and maybe northeast too.
Okay, that's a very important point. That means that from your truth, southeast ought to get the ticket. It means you've eliminated President Goodluck Jonathan as a potential candidate for the PDP, if you were to suggest. And maybe perhaps Peter Obi, who has been touted as maybe coming back to the PDP, might be a candidate for you. Or we hope, of course, and believe with the will of God that we are alive tomorrow, based on what you said.
Well, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria gives everybody right to contest. The Constitution did not talk about, even though they talked about national representation, making sure that every part of the country is represented, involved in what's happening. But something like leadership, running for public office, you don't force anybody. Sometimes you zone it, and you might not, every zone, I believe, have some capable people to run the affairs of state, either at the state level or national. But when you force people to want to do something, you might not produce the best results. So first and foremost is that there must be desire, there must be willingness, for people to want to make a contribution before we then say, oh, other people will come to support them if they find they have a viable candidate to do. So in terms of the presidency for 2027, I believe Peter Obi so far has no platform, to the best of my knowledge. He ran last time with Labour Party. He's attended the launching of, what do they call it, ADC. So I don't know what his platform will be. I'll be happy if he joins PDP, because he will bring his credibility to bear on the party as we are reorganizing. I mean, he's not a name you want to introduce in Nigerian politics. Any party that has him today, we know that they have already made more than 30-40% of the election, because he has tremendous support across this country.
Okay, Mr. Danulasi, I'm happy you're talking about Peter Obi. And you remember we had a bet the last time, and empirically I'll prove to you, sir, that I won that bet. I put it to you, I won that bet. You said, these were your words, not mine. That showed me a video.
The opinion of those who watched us.
No, hang on a minute. Wait, let me finish. Mr. Danulasi,
you know what people said?
I'm a man of facts.
Okay,
let me land.
Go on.
Your words, not mine. Okay, you will resign from the PDP if I can show you videos of you criticizing Peter Obi in the past. In fact, I have too many videos of you criticizing. In fact, not only me, Ose, Aneni, Chief Aneni's son also brought out some videos of you criticizing Peter Obi in the past. If you want, maybe you can send your number to your producer to me.
Please.
Through our producer to me, and I will forward you those videos. But wait, I've not even landed on my question.
Yeah, information, please. Yes. Information in all communication. Once I say information, you give me a few seconds.
Yes, please.
When we had that discussion, I told you that I criticized Peter Obi on one serious occasion when he left PDP and went to Labour Party. I did mention it, and you forgot to say that. I mentioned it in our discussion.
Mr. Danulasi, the videos of our conversation are there. People will watch and judge. But let me move on to my real question. Anyway, I have a lot of. Let me move on to my real question. You are now saying that this is the same Peter Obi that you are saying that if he runs today, he has 30 to 40% of the country. Correct me if I'm wrong, or maybe you said it just now, maybe I didn't hear well, maybe I have to remove anything in my ear. He said it
that's what I just said, yes.
But I want to read a newspaper caption to you, where you said, when you warned the Igbo people leading up to the last election, that voting for Peter Obi in 2023, you said during that he has no strong political base and we failed woefully in his presidential bid. He said Peter Obi will succeed in securing the Igbo block vote from traders. He said this vote will not be enough to make Obi president. And he could set the Igbo voters up for attack for opposition. But the word I want you to underline there is that he will fail woefully. So how come a man that you said will fail woefully, but that got over 6 million votes, that won Lagos, which is not only what is it called, an Igbo voting area, and won some other parts of this country, is not the one you are saying that if he joins the PDP? And which PDP do you want him to join? This pen PDP you people claim is finished, that Wike rules now. And you are saying you want to, it's not a political suicide. I don't think people just want to destroy him politically by luring him to the PDP. That's my question for you, sir.
Well, this is not a question, it's a lecture you have just delivered.
Yes, it's a question. Don't you people want to kill him politically by saying he should come?
Excuse me. You see, you're becoming violent in also in your speech. Why don't you ask a question, you make a clarification, you allow me to make a comment? This is exactly what you did in the last interview. Your views must always prevail. I have a reason as the person you're questioning to give my views, and my views might not always be correct. That's why I'm a human person. What I said in that interview you're making reference to is that Igbo votes alone will not make Peter to be president. And I would not have to make a presentation as if an Igbo man running for president. He's running for president from an Igbo extraction. That was the explanation I was trying to make in that interview. And anybody who comes out to run for presidency of this country does not come out telling us I'm a Yoruba man, I'm an Igbo man, I'm a Fulani man, calling for his people's vote. That will come in situ. So that is the explanation in that interview you're making reference to. So if the paper you're quoting did not represent what I said properly, it's unfortunate. I don't know which paper you're quoting. But all I have said is that in the past, we were with Peter Obi in PDP. And he ran as our vice presidential candidate. We attended a meeting with him in Oka, where he told our people that he was going to run for presidency. And not long after that, he left us without consultation and joined the Labour Party. People were bound to be annoyed. That's what I was saying in my interview. And that involved criticism, that you must be able to have some principles of relating to those you're working with. About 3-4 weeks ago, he was in my house in Enugu, and we were discussing the same thing. I said, in all things you do, give proper information and communication to those you're discussing with. Don't take anybody for granted. Because people have laid a lot of, sacrifices, a lot of resources down in this journey. Rufai, that's what I was saying exactly. And in such doing, you have to criticize. Politics is about criticism, even if it's your brother or your mother running. But it doesn't have to be, maligning somebody's character. No, you have to point out what's shortcoming somebody else, especially if it's not working with you anymore.
Very good. My question to you is, aren't you people leading Peter Obi to a slaughter slab by calling him to come and join a PDP that Wike has pretty much taken over and prevails over? That's my question to you. Aren't you people deliberately leading him to a slaughter slab?
Well, yes, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. You see, when you make a statement that Wike has taken over PDP, he hasn't taken me over. He's my friend. I have serious disagreements with him when we don't agree. Even in the national executive meeting we had 2 national executive meetings in the past 2 months. There are a lot of people who don't support him. And he knows that. There are a lot of people, the national chairman doesn't support him. He might be friendly with some of us, but the national chairman hasn't left his seat as national chairman of PDP to go running after Wike. Wike wants to be in control, but I had told him, you cannot be working for an APC government and try to tell us what we'll do in PDP. One, we have courage to tell a friend that one. It does not stop him from doing what he wants to do. And until we have a convention, what we're having in November is what we call mini convention. There will be no election. There will be no offices sought for, so that we don't create any problem before our major convention next year to bring out a presidential candidate. It is only when next year comes, because Wike had already said that he will support Tinubu in 2027. He will remember the futility of that statement when the convention comes next year, and we want to bring out a candidate and he interferes.
Chief,
then you will see that what I'm telling you is correct.
Chief Ulasi, I asked you,
yes,
you are now focusing on Wike. Now, the PDP had a 119 member committee led by Governor Fintiri of Adamawa State, where the decision was taken to zone those positions. And there was a report indicating that, okay, so positions have been zoned this way. The bone of contention from the Wike group is that they are saying that the next chairman, substantive chairman of the party, should come from the North Central and that there should be no micro-zoning. Whereas other leaders of the party say, no, there's nothing wrong with micro-zoning for us to have peace within the party. Where do you stand?
Well, I said, I thought I mentioned something like that when I started commenting initially. That in the next meeting we had, we said, if we have a contestable convention this November, the time is so short, it will bring a lot of, animosity within us. So we just do a normal midterm convention without running for any office until next year. So between now and next year, it's a long period of time. Like the party has zoned presidency to the south. It is most likely that next year the chairmanship of the party will come from the north. Which part of the north the party will also decide. These are not constitutional matters of Nigerian constitution, but these are the discussions we have to, bring, some kind of understanding within the party. There's nowhere in the Nigerian constitution that is specifically mentioned about zoning, but it talks about national representation, national interest, which means that every part of this country should be given an opportunity to be part of the system. That is what it means. No part of the country will take presidency and you take a governor, you take a vice president, you take speaker, you take a president of Senate. That would be unfair. That's what I'm saying, I'm talking about.
Thank you very much, Chief Daniel Lassie. Thank you for joining us.
So guys, tell me what you think. Do you think Peter Obi is actually going to stick to PDP? Do you even think Peter Obi is confused of what party to be in this forthcoming presidential election? Well, tell me what you think about that in the comment section. Now guys, You remember some time ago I showed you a video of Simfubara saying that he doesn't care about the seat anymore, you know, that in fact he does not want to go back. And I will show you him after he made that statement, just some months after, guys, just to see how terrible and selfish our governors or our politicians are in the country. Then in the comment section, I also need you to tell me what you think or why you think he went back to sit as the governor of Rivers State.
Don't wish going back there. My spirit has left that place long ago. Even some of you, have you asked yourself, do you think I am even interested in going back there? I want to ask you, don't you see how better I look? Do you think I'm interested in it? If I have my way, I say it's here. This is an altar of God. I don't wish going back there. My spirit has left that place long ago. So all this, I want everybody to focus, please.
Now I showed you a video yesterday of, you know, Wike talking about a lot of things, you know, and a lot of people had a lot to say about that. In fact, there was a lot of reaction to that video of Wike, you know, in that particular speech where he was giving. And also it was at channels today, you know, it was at TVC today, and you know, it was being interviewed and he had a lot to say about what is happening, you know. And guys, I'm going to play the video for you so you can hear for yourself what the current Nigeria is right now as we speak.
The congregation, it was, look, there was problem. I want Kano 90%. I want Kasana about 80-something%. That was where the mark brought his knowledge of military coup and the former Senate president. He was the chairman of the convention. Every candidate, every aspirant has spoken. Now, for us now to vote. Then we had an announcement that there's an announcement. What was the announcement? We thought maybe the electoral committee would say, look, this is what you will do, this is what you will not do. When did I see? I mean, it's that one. What did you say? My brothers, this and that. I want to withdraw from the race. I have no problem. But we went further. Vote for my senior brother, Atiku, who to the preach without calling us other aspirants to come and address. That was what they rigged it with David Mark. Now I'm coming. Tamboy negotiated to be the DG of the campaign and to be the Senate president. Election, share they are, because they believe the government then was supporting them. So Tamboy was to be the Senate president. So they now made him DG. That's okay.
There was an agreement.
Yes, that was how you start that.
That if he supported Atiku,
yes,
he was going to be made Senate president.
Yes.
And you are privy to that.
Why would I buy a kid? I'm not a kid in this game. I've been here. They made him a DG, and that would lead him to be the Senate president when he wins. Thinking that they will win. You know, they always assume.
Guys, you have seen for yourself. Now lastly, you know, I told you about Verydarkman and what he had to come and say about this particular pastor Nonso, a pastor, right? And this other man who they've been having this particular issue for the last 3 years, and up until now this man has not done anything to Pastor Nonso, but Pastor Nonso has refused to actually give this man his goods worth of millions are in the possession of Pastor Nonso. So guys, tell me what you think about all of this video in the comment section.
Now, I'm looking at this picture. See the way the man, they lay hands on the members. You go say, oh, he has the spirit of the Lord in him. Look at him on the altar. Papa, you know, ministering on the altar of the Lord. You go say, he has the spirit of the Lord in him. You know, say this man, a very black-hearted man. People like you know, you're supposed to do this kind of word every day. And and they use church, they take cover up. That's the craziest part of all of this. Now, who is this man? His name is Pastor Nonso Okafor. He's a pastor, as you can see, he's a pastor with the Redeemed Christian Church of God in Esenyurt, Istanbul, Turkey. The name of the branch is Advent Center in Turkey. Now, this man on the other hand, he's a pastor on Sundays, but on the other hand, he's also a businessman, right? He does this shipping. If you buy goods, he will help you use the shipping company to ship everything to Nigeria. That was how this guy called Mr. John. I went to go and meet him. I said, Papa, I went into JV with a company here in Turkey. JV meaning joint venture with a company in Turkey that make doors. They make doors. So they will do cheaper door for me. They'll use my name to brand it. We'll send it to Nigeria. When I sell it, then they'll give me more doors. So I want to go back to Nigeria and be bringing doors to sell cheaper. The pastor said, no problem now. I have a shipping company, as you know. So you want to use my shipping company? The guy said yes. How many pieces of door? The guy said 73 pieces of door. The man said, the only container I have now is 40 feet container. So the guy said, 73 pieces. 40 feet is too big. The pastor now said, okay, this is what we are going to do. I have goods that I want to send to Nigeria. So we'll share the 40 feet. 20 feet for you, 20 feet for me. And they decided that, okay, that is what they are going to do. This guy now carried the door. Now use this shipping company to ship it from the company to the pastor's office in Istanbul, Turkey. Now this is a cover letter when he moved it from that place to the other side. After I sent it, he now told the pastor that this is how they should arrange the door inside the container. As you can see, say, please help me supervise the arrangements. Make it be like this, sir. Good morning, sir. The pastor said good morning in agreement. So after that, the pastor now sent him this voice notes.
Hello, John. Yeah, good morning. Yeah, John, I called you yesterday. You told me that you were driving, that you were going to call me back. You didn't call me back till now. John, I want to inform you that now the clearing of a container in Nigeria is 8,800,000. That is what I was calling you to inform you. It's 8,800,000. That is what I'm taking to clear 40 feet container now in Ababa now. Because of this GDP, what he calls it both now. So I said, let me inform you. So this container that is on the way going to Nigeria. So you know, this is the amount for it now. Then, secondly, we are going to Wood on Friday. I booked container already. So I was calling you to tell you because I'm under pressure from my customers about their goods that is there. I don't know about your own side. And that company that gives you door, they are calling me.
Good. So you heard him. He said he already has his own goods on the ground. So he was now waiting for this guy to bring his own so that I can load everything. Because his own customer, this is the pastor talking, his own customers are giving him pressure. So he was waiting for this guy. So that was how this guy now sent him a message on the 5th. Now said, please, can you leave the date to next week? We'll pay for money for extension. He said no. He said all my brother's goods could not arrive today. The company he bought goods from insists that they will deliver by next week. That they are unable to meet up today. We can't send an empty space to Nigeria. Hence the goods is not up to 20 feet. Please check if you can postpone to next week. Now, 73 pieces, right? It is not 73 pieces of door cannot fill it 20 feet. So he now called his own brother that they should join hands together to fill the 20 feet. But he wanted extension. The pastor refused. So the guy now eventually sent the doors. This is the day when they sent the door. So this is them loading the door. Now, thank God, even video small and the pastor showed. As you can see, that is the pastor there in the video. So they went, they loaded the doors and they put it in the container. After putting it in the container, the pastor said, as you can see, 40 feet container is $5,700 to send it to Nigeria. This is minus the clearing, which is 8.8 million, as he has said in Apapa. So this one is to move it from his own place in Istanbul, Turkey. First is $5,700. So, but because him is doing 20 feet, the guy is doing 20 feet, so they will share it. So the guy is now paying $2,850. That was how the guy paid $2,850. Then the man now said he's going to pay some extra. This is the first note. He said he's going to pay some extra for loading and all.
I give the money for drink. 5,800 tele is the charges for loading. Then their drink. They ask their brother about the drink. I will give them the money for the drink now. I give the money for drink and the water when they drink when they are loading. The spaces they make. So that's how they do it. I will not be the only person making the space. Now you get the goods.
So you heard him. He said all the whole extra things, loading and everything is 5,800 tele. 5,800 tele is different from the $2,850. So as you can see, the journal responded now said send your tele account and $2,850 account. So he now sends everything together. So he has paid for moving it to Nigeria, which is $2,850 and 5,700 tele, Turkish lira, that's Turkish money. So after he sent it, boom, container on the sea. While the container was on the sea going to Nigeria as agreement, the pastor now sends this voice note.
My brother, this is the notice, the message they sent to me, and the 40 feet container is 11 million naira to come out. 40 feet container is 11 million naira to come out. So time is passing for this thing. And what I told you is that any dumore that enter, he must be fair today. It's going to be on your own side. It's not going to be on my side.
Now, why he said time is passing is because when he told him the 8.8 million, he was not telling the guy to pay. The guy now said, when he land, Papa, I will pay for the clearing. Why do you want to collect the money now? And now, on the sea again, he don't change the price. So it's now 11 million instead of 8.8 million. Now, he now started pressuring the guy to pay for clearing even before the goods land Nigeria. At the end of the day, the guy immediately transferred money. See, he said on the 26th of October, he said, send me your Nigerian account number. Then the pastor now said, C&D International Building Nigeria Limited, Fidelity Bank. So the guy now transferred, first time he transferred 3.5 million naira instead of 5.5. Because 11 million naira, they are supposed to share it both ways. Since now something container 5.5. So he sent 3.5, then later he now balanced the rest. Now, this container left that place around 22nd of September. Now, the day the man said it was going to arrive Nigeria was in November. November reached. Any update, the pastor said the container will be in Nigeria tomorrow. As you can see, 7th of November, the container will be in Nigeria tomorrow. Tomorrow, which is 8th, the guy did not hear from the pastor. 9th, he did not hear from pastor. 10th, he did not hear from pastor. 11th, he now said, another container that went to Nigeria had been cleared. As you can see, custom clearing in Nigeria is 8.3 40 feet container 2006. He now said, this one said don't even reach Nigeria and it is way cheaper. Pastor no response. On the 22nd of November, any update? Good evening, pastor. Say good evening by next week. First time November, he say next day. He say by next week. 27th of November, the guy said, good morning. Please, when in particular are you expecting the goods to come out? Pastor say good morning. I will let you know as soon as it comes out. 30th of November, story. Then eventually December can reach. He now sends his voice note.
My brother, it did not come out on weekend. So let us see if it come out this week. By special grace of God.
Now, this particular one, he sent it on the 4th of November, of December, that will come out that week. He passed. On the 6th, the guy sent him a message. Say, any news, good morning. Pastor say, good morning. He sent another voice note.
Hello, John, good morning. Yeah, I'm expect Korea, but I will let you know. I will let you know, like what I told you. So I'm expect Korea, then I will inform you.
Another story. Nothing again. He didn't send anything. Do you understand? Now, 11th of December now, he sent them another voice note.
Come out this week. Come out this weekend. They say they come out, so let them start work today. So it is like I came into that God make it. I don't know how they work today.
Now, you see the story I'm about to tell you. This one will be even, this container won't better. If I tell you what this pastor do. But let's continue. Bear in mind that two of them still did for Turkey. The pastor did Turkey, this guy did Turkey when all these things they happen. So he continue. December 17th, the guy say hello, I did not hear from you. Pastor say good morning. It has not come out, I will let you know. The guy say, now wow, when will you get back to me? 19th of December 2023, the guy reached out, pastor no answer. 23rd, the guy reached out, pastor no answer. Then, finally, the pastor now sent his voice note.
So once he gave me a sign that I will do it, I will let you know. You know what I do it, I'll let you know.
This is December 23rd. Story, enter. Then finally, after all chats, look at it. Don't beg. Pastor no answer. Don't try. January don't reach, February don't reach. Now sends this voice note in February.
John, please send your motor very early in the morning tomorrow to that place because they will not offload it on the ground. They will offload it from container to your motor. So please send your motor very early in the morning to Kidia so that they will offload it from container to your motor. So that they will not offload down. Let us need to put on your motor, please.
So from the voice note, container don't finally land Nigeria. You say, okay, we are send your motor to go carry everything. You know, the container will load it straight to your motor. That was how this guy was. She now told him that the guy will pay 260,000 naira to account number Okonko Ikena Daniel Fidelity Bank. So as you can see, the Mr. John now paid the money they asked him to pay. Since they say container don't finally land, I should carry motor, go there, load his goods and everything. After I paid, my brothers and sisters, another story started. Till on the 22nd, new story. As you can see, container no land. John now sent him a message. I said, the weekend that you promised have ended. Is my container ready? Pastor say, I will call you. So the money sent, now I don't go. The container where they say they don't bring, say they for boats, for ship, for cargo place. They go carry on story, enter. That's why this guy kept on disturbing, you know, April, May, June, July. Oh God, the guy now sent him in May. The guy now sent him tracking details. Now said, I tracked that container. I found out that the container is in Nigeria. And it has been in Nigeria for a long while. So why are you not saying the container never land? I mean, something happened to my goose. The pastor refused to answer. Story. So the guy, because of them, they talking. The guy can go meet pastor for your office. So meet pastor for your office. So you must give me my goose. You know, they argued, they insulted the pastor, and they left. My brothers and sisters, guess what happened? You know, these 2 weeks, police came and arrested this guy. When they arrested the guy, straight, they deported the guy back to Nigeria. Apparently, the pastor went to go and tell police that guy came with men to come and threaten to kill him. And because the pastor, if he expressed himself for Turkish, he speaks the language more than this other guy. He explained to the police, you know, he's more of a citizen. He has, no, not like a citizen. He has stayed there for a long time. They know him. You know, he said the guy's a threat to him. He's just a pastor. He's a religious man. That he does not want problem. That this one, that one. Bro, that's how they deported this guy. They deported the guy from Nigeria. Even after they deported him, the guy didn't have anything to do in Nigeria. He kept on waiting, calling. This one, today, please, can I have it? Please, can I have it? No. At a point in June, he even sent him, see, 2025. Okay, where are my doors? If you dey steal, you cannot get away with it. Blah 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 blah. Story until tomorrow. Nothing. So pastor carried the door. He don't give him. Collected his money. 5.5 million naira. Collected $2,850. Upon all that, collected money for delivery, everything, and deported this guy back to Nigeria. A pastor in Redeemed Church. A pastor in Redeemed Church. Now the guy in Nigeria. So where did I meet this guy? When I went to Edo State, I just did with the work. I see one woman carry a cake on the cry. See what they do her husband. I say, what's going on? Where's your husband? They bring her. I say, I don't want to see them. They brought them to the hotel. I lost them in the hotel until I finished working. That's when I listened to him, and I felt pity for him. That the pastor would do this and deported this guy because this guy is asking for the dog when she go bring on Nigeria. She not nice. So Pastor Nonso Okafo, please, me I will beg you first. Please get this guy his container. You don't already deport him. Please get him his container. He needs those doors. Let him start his life again. You don't finish him. You have finished him. You have kicked him out of Turkey. Do you understand? Now he's in Nigeria. Let him use those doors to start. The company when he do JV with, they are calling him to return money to them. He can't. The guy is stranded in Nigeria. Please, Pastor Nonso Okafo, I am begging you, help him. But if you are not going to help him, there's no problem. There's absolutely no problem. We'll look for a way around it. And I hope you don't learn the hard way. Peace a lot. Don't blame.
And I'm also going to be showing some other things that are happening in the country because a lot of things are happening in the country as we speak, guys. So I beckon on every individual and every citizen of Nigeria to be careful with whoever we are dealing with or whatever business we tend to do. We all should be careful. And if this is the first time you are seeing this channel, guys, do not forget to like, subscribe, and also do not forget to drop your comments on the comment section below.